Hello, it's Sarah from Blossom here. I was just having my cup of coffee and thinking about how complicated learning to count is. There are 7 or 8 steps just in early number and early counting. So the first one is the number rhyme, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fantastic. It teaches children the order of one more and which number comes next, and the counting up and down the numbers so that they're fluent with that is a really valuable skill to teach and to support them with. Doesn't necessarily mean they're more clever or better at maths the higher they can count. Being able to count confidently up and back down to 5 to 10 to 20 is brilliant, and that's all that's really necessary to start with. So the next step is understanding the cardinal number, so knowing when you count a group of objects that the last number you say is the total of how many you've got there. The next skill would be conservation of number, so knowing that if you've counted this number of 6 objects and 6 is your total, that will stay the same so long as you don't take any away or add any to it. And no matter how they are arranged, there are always going to be 6 there, and you don't need to count them every time. There are 6 objects there. That's the conservation of number. The next skill really is subitizing, so understanding that when you look at a number, just knowing how many are there. Young children can subitize up to 4 or 5, and more practice will mean they can subitize higher numbers, but the most obvious example of that is rolling a dice. You don't count the dots every time, you just know how many are there. So subitizing would be the next step. The step on from that when counting is understanding that for larger numbers that you can't subitize, you need to count one object, one number. So 1-to-1 counting. One object, one number, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, you're teaching techniques to make it easier for them to keep track of which they've counted and which they haven't. So you'd be talking about maybe lining the objects up and counting along from left to right, knowing that one object, one number, and the last one you say is how many you've got. After that, the next technique is to show them that moving the object will help them to keep track of the ones they've counted and the ones they haven't counted. All of these techniques are to just help them to be more accurate in their counting and to understand that maths is concrete, and that there is one answer, and that in order to make sure you are correct in your maths, you are using these methods to help you be as accurate as you possibly can. Blossom has got hundreds of resources in all aspects of the early years to help support parents in helping their children to boost their learning. Come and visit the website, come and see what we've got, join the growing number of families who are helping their children to blossom.